Okay, so moving on to finish off this ring here, we're going to get these parts, this top and bottom peg. Now it looks like the top peg might be slightly larger than the bottom peg, but I'm just going to make mine the same size. Let's come over here to the front view, and we can look and see what this is. Okay, there's a cylinder here. We can make these all separate pieces if we wanted to. Like there's a top part, a cylinder in the middle, a cylinder on the bottom, and then this flat part right here. It's possible to make those all separate because they probably are all separate. But I don't know if I want to do that. Let me see here. We're going to go to the radius here and make that a 0.2. And we'll try to work square as much as you can. And then we'll change the height. It's like a 1 here. It's shorter than a 1. 0.7, that's closer. Looks like the radius might be a little bit smaller than that, 0.17. And we can rotate this if we wanted to. It's better to rotate this image so that that piece is straight up and down. And we kind of line this up than it is to rotate your object. You're going to have to rotate your object eventually, but you can see how this is now not short enough, so we can make it shorter. The height of 0.7, let's go 0.5. That's about right for that piece there. Now what I want to do is actually make this part of this other piece, this band that goes around. And it looks like it's the correct number of divisions on it. Maybe it has too many actually. Let's go to like 18. Just bring it down slowly. We'll do 16 or 17. Okay, 16 looks like it's good. And then we can connect that. So what we can do is then rotate this into position here and move it down. It looks like it's going to need to be rotated more. And then we can kind of move it into place here. And that looks like that's about right. And it looks like we have, let's zero this out here. Oh no, that was what we needed actually. Undo that. We need to rotate on this one here. So zero this one here out, the X. Because it rotated slightly in the wrong direction there. And it does that. It'll do that when you start rotating these things around. Let's do 17 divisions. Maybe 18 was right. Huh. Let's see. So it's going to be rotate Y. I'm going to try to line that up because we're going to connect that to this other piece here. So then I'm going to add in edge loops so I have one for the top where this connects and one for the bottom where this connects, so I can just easily connect those things together. Let's see if I can, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it more easily this way. I don't think so. Rotate it, and we can move it into position there. All right, it's looking pretty well lined up there. You don't want to duplicate it because we're going to need another one for the bottom. And then we can connect these two things together. Just hold shift, right click, and go combine. And then we're going to go to vertex mode here, vertex, and we're going to use our target weld. Target weld is on your standard shelf. It should be on your custom shelf, and it's underneath mesh tools. So then we can click and drag. Click over here on nothing first, and then click and drag these vertices so that they lock onto each other. And then we have to take that face out in the middle here. So go inside. This is the face right here. See? You have to take that out, otherwise we get non-manifold geometry. Now if you press 3 here, that should smooth out pretty well. One issue with this that I did not address already, which I should have, well, probably shouldn't have. I should wait till I'm done with this part. And then we'll add on some control edges to make that sharper. But then we'll take this down to the bottom here. Let's go down here. grab that and move it down. Okay, there you go. So technically this should be directly across from each other, which they are right now. But if you notice here, the band doesn't match up with that. So easy fix for that is just delete out the faces that we don't need on the band. Just delete those. We don't need these here. We'll delete those. And then we'll take this, vertices here. We'll just move them over to line up with that. And now we can attach. So go to object mode, select both of them. Hold down shift right click, go combine. And now go to vertex, click on nothing. Click on your target weld tool and start target welding these things together if we can. But you can't really see. Gotta go inside here. There. Let's go down and get the ones on the bottom. They're also on the inside, so this one is not. It's on the outside. There we go. Well, you have to get rid of the face that's in here. So go to this inside of the band and click on that face and then press delete. And now we're going to add on control edges. If we press 3 here, we can see this is what we get. So we want to have control edges on here for sure because it is a pretty sharp transition between the cylindrical part and the band. So we want one there. And then we're going to have one here and down here to control the sharpness of the band as it goes across here. Go to face or go to object mode. Press 3 and then you can see how, turn off this here, you can see how sharp that is now. It's actually sharp. We have to connect this down here too. I forgot about that. But we'll get that. And then up here we need to have another control edge right here like we did on the bottom part to kind of sharpen this part here. Mode, press 3. And then there you go. Now these are pretty good. They need to be sharper across there, but something I did not think of. To make that happen, what we can do is we can go to the faces here. So right click, go face. You can do this pretty easily. We're going to select across the middle. Press R. Hold shift to click and drag in, but that's going to make that. Double click your scale tool and change from object to component. And you can see it lines up with your components now. You can hold shift and click and drag right here, and it's going to make that control edge. And you can do the same thing now with these faces down here. So get those faces, hold shift, click and drag right here. If it's not lining up, squarely with the end of your object, you need to double click your scale tool and go from object or world or whatever to component, and then it will line up squarely with those faces. Press R, scale in slightly. It's too much. Or sorry, hold shift and scale in slightly while you're holding shift. So do the same thing down here. Hold shift, scale in slightly. So you get that control edge there. Now this will be square, watch. This is very, very square now, which is what we want because it's really square here. Let's go ahead and combine this whole band with this piece right here. So looks like it's pretty well lined up there. And now go hold down shift, right click, go combine. I'm going to close this. I don't need it anymore. And now I can take the faces out of the center of the band. I can add on an edge right here and right here so I can use those. Press 1 to attach. I don't need these faces on the inside of the band. You don't want to, so let's go to face here. We'll just get rid of this, and delete those. So that's fine. And then this one over here, delete that. And you see, we can see through now. There's one up here we want to get rid of. You got to get rid of all of them or else it's non-manifold geometry, and that's bad. They're inside here, right here, see? These are the ones on the band itself. We added those control edges on already, so don't worry about, we'll have edges there to easily line up with. We have them on the top too and the bottom, so make sure we get rid of these here across the bottom. On the other side, just delete them, and then there's ones on the top which we can't see from this angle, so we're going to rotate. There they are. Delete those. You don't want to marquee select because see, you're going to get other stuff. They're hard to get to here. Delete that. Okay, so cool. There's those. Now, they're all deleted in there. Now we can go to Vertex. Make sure you click on Nothing first. Go to your Target Weld. Remember, that's underneath the Mesh Tools menu if you don't have it on your shelf. And we're going to start lining these guys up or snapping these guys into place. these vertices. Let's get the ones on the bottom first, it looks like. And then come inside. Oh. Turn on X-ray in this case so I can actually see. There you go. Okay. Get the other side. We can turn off X-ray for this part. So turn that off. We're not going to be able to see that. There. If you can't see it in the camera, you're not going to be able to snap to it. All right, now we have these little faces in here. We got to get rid of. We didn't get rid of them. This one here, and the one across from it, which is right there. You can always, you know, rotate around and find it. If you can't find it, it was right there. Now go to object mode. If you press 3, it's going to round out too much, I think. Maybe not. Let's see what the image shows. That's pretty good, I think. I think that's sharp enough. All right, cool. So this part right here was a little bit more complicated, but we got it. And then we'll move on to the last pieces, which are going to be these little knobs and stuff, and then the sphere itself.